Welcome, brave listeners, to another chilling dive into the shadows of the past, where secrets fester in the quiet corners of small towns. Tonight we travel to Circleville, Ohio, in the late 1970s, a place where the mail carried more than letters. It carried fear. This is the story of the Circleville Letters, anonymous messages that tore through a community, exposing its darkest sins and driving one woman to the edge of death. For nearly 2 decades, these letters haunted Circleville with a venom that lingers to this day. A sleepy town in the American Midwest. Rows of modest houses, a town square, with a single stoplight and a community where everyone knows your name. But beneath the surface, something sinister stirs. It starts with a letter slipped into a mailbox. Typed in block letters, it accuses a school bus driver of an affair. The words are sharp, cruel, and all too knowing. Soon more letters arrive, not just to her, but to her neighbors, her coworkers, her friends. This isn't just a prank. It's a campaign of terror, one that will unravel lives and leave a mystery that still whispers in the dark. So dim the lights, lock your doors, and join me as we uncover the Circleville Letters. If this sends a shiver down your spine, hit that like button, and let's step into the unknown together. It all begins in 1977 in Circleville, Ohio, a small town of about 13,000 people. Mary Gillespie, a 38-year-old school bus driver, starts receiving anonymous letters. The first one arrives in her mailbox, typed in a cold, mechanical font. It accuses her of having an affair with the school superintendent, Gordon Massey. The letter claims to know her every move. "I have been observing you," it reads. "You will stop this affair or I will tell everyone." Mary is shocked. She's a married mother of 2 with a quiet life. The accusation is baseless, but the tone is menacing. She hides the letter, hoping it's a one-time scare. But the letters don't stop. They multiply like a plague. Over the next few weeks, Mary receives dozens more, each one more vicious than the last. The writer knows details no one should. The route she drives, the times she leaves her house, even the names of her children. The letters spread beyond Mary. Her husband Ron receives them too, warning him to control his wife or face consequences. Neighbors get letters accusing them of hiding the truth. Teachers at the school find notes in their mailboxes demanding they expose Mary's supposed affair. The writer signs each letter simply, "The Watcher," leaving no trace of their identity. Let's dive deeper into the terror. By 1978, the letters take a darker turn. They start appearing on public signs along Mary's bus route. Handwritten posters declare her a cheater, a liar, a disgrace. One sign near the school reads in bold letters, "Your children are not safe while she drives." Parents grow uneasy pulling their kids from Mary's bus. The town buzzes with gossip, but no one knows who's behind it. The letters mention specific incidents like a late-night drive Mary took months ago. How could anyone know that? The precision of the knowledge sends chills down her spine. The harassment escalates in 1983. On February 7th, Mary spots another sign on her route filled with vile accusations. She pulls over to tear it down, but something catches her eye. A string tied to the sign leads to a small box hidden in the bushes. Inside the box is a loaded gun, rigged to fire when the string is pulled. A booby trap meant to kill her. Mary escapes unharmed, but the incident shakes Circleville to its core. The sheriff investigates and traces the gun to Paul Freshour, a 45-year-old man who's married to Ron's sister, Karen. Paul and Karen are recently divorced, and Karen had received letters too, hinting she knew the writer's identity. Paul is arrested and charged with attempted murder. His trial is a spectacle in Circleville. The prosecution claims he wrote the letters out of spite, perhaps over the divorce, or a family grudge. They point to handwriting analysis linking him to the signs, though the typed letters are harder to trace. Paul insists he's innocent. He passes a polygraph test, but the jury doesn't buy it. He's convicted and sentenced to 7 to 25 years in prison. But here's where the mystery deepens. The letters don't stop. Even with Paul behind bars, they keep coming. More residents receive them. Even the sheriff gets one accusing him of corruption. If Paul isn't the writer, then who is? Let's explore the letters themselves. Over 1,000 were sent between 1977 and the early 1990s. They were always typed in block letters or written in a distorted script, making handwriting analysis difficult. The writer seemed to know everyone's secrets. One letter to a local businessman exposed his gambling debts. Another to a teacher revealed an affair with a parent. The tone was always threatening. "I know what you did. I will make you pay." Some letters included crude drawings of Mary with hateful captions. Others mentioned specific times and places like a 2 a.m. meeting at the town diner that no one should have witnessed. What makes this so eerie is the relentlessness. The writer never slipped up, never left a fingerprint or a clue. The letters arrived at all hours, sometimes multiple in a single day. They were mailed from different cities, Columbus, Dayton, even as far as Cincinnati, suggesting the writer traveled to cover their tracks. One chilling detail. A letter to Mary's daughter mentioned her favorite dress, a blue one she wore to a school dance. How could the writer know that? The intimacy of the knowledge felt like a ghost watching from the shadows, a ghost that knew Circleville better than its own residents. So who was the watcher? Theories abound, each more unsettling than the last. One points to Paul Freshour as the mastermind even from prison. Some believe he had an accomplice who kept the letters going after his arrest. The timing of his divorce and his connection to the gun make him a plausible suspect. But the polygraph test and the sheer volume of letters cast doubt. How could he orchestrate such a campaign from a cell? Others think Karen, his ex-wife, might have been involved. She knew the family's secrets and had a motive after the bitter divorce. Yet no hard evidence ties her to the letters. Another theory suggests a group effort. Circleville was a tight-knit town where grudges ran deep. Could a network of residents have collaborated to torment Mary? The letter's knowledge of the town's underbelly supports this idea. Perhaps a scorned lover of Gordon Massey, the superintendent, started it, and others joined in fueling a collective vendetta. But the consistency of the writing style over nearly 2 decades makes this hard to believe. Could a group stay so coordinated for so long without a single leak? Then there's the darker speculation, a supernatural force. Some in Circleville whisper the letters were penned by a spirit tied to the town's history. The area has old legends of a wronged woman from the 1800s who swore vengeance on the living. Could her ghost have possessed someone or written the letters herself? The drawings, the intimate details, the way the letters seem to know everything. It feels almost otherworldly. One letter arrived on the anniversary of a 1920s murder in Circleville, hinting at a connection to the past. The idea of a ghostly writer adds a layer of dread that's hard to shake. The aftermath left scars on Circleville. Ron Gillespie, Mary's husband, died in 1977 in a car crash some believe was linked to the stress of the letters. Mary survived the booby trap, but lived in fear until her death in 2012. Paul Freshour was released in 1994 after serving 10 years, still claiming his innocence. The letters slowed in the 1990s, but never fully stopped. The last known one arrived in 1995, addressed to a journalist covering the case. It read, "I am still watching." The mystery remains unsolved, a shadow over Circleville that refuses to lift. What's truly haunting is the legacy. Residents still speak of the letters in hushed tones. Some claim to have received new ones as late as the early 2000s, though none have been verified. The town square feels quieter now, as if the watcher's gaze still lingers. Old-timers avoid certain streets at night, saying they feel eyes on them. Is the watcher still out there, or did they take their secret to the grave? The letters are a wound in Circleville's history, one that festers with every whispered rumor. For nearly 2 decades, the Circleville Letters terrorized a town. Was it Paul Freshour, a group of vengeful locals, or a ghostly presence seeking justice? The truth lies buried in those typed words, and perhaps that's where it belongs. What do you think? Drop your theories below, and let's unravel this sinister mystery together. If this kept you on edge, smash that like button, subscribe for more dark tales, and share with a friend who loves a late-night scare. Tell us if you've ever received a letter that made your blood run cold. Until next time, stay curious, but maybe check your mailbox twice.